we all know the Oscar is bullshit. It was since like 20 years now or something like that, but there is this game I like to play with the Oscars. I take all the nominated titles. I don't give a fuck the short films and documentaries. No one watches those. They don't get into the theaters, and you cannot watch them even after the Oscars. So as a marketing, even it again doesn't work. Now my rules for the remaining titles, which is the majority of them, the majority of the others, is to check how valid is the Oscar nomination thing. For me to be a valid Oscar nomination, there are just a couple of criteria. One, the movie, if it is not the foreign movies, because it has its own category. So the movie must be produced by Hollywood, the United States of America, the USA. If it's not even on a long list for a tiny portion participation trophy, it's not valid in my book. The other is the movie must have a normal wide release in 2020. In this case, this year 2025. So the Oscar, but in the year the Oscar applies to, it's always the previous year. They give it out in the next year. And I always find some movies that only get a limited release, so it's not a full release, so no one had a chance watching it, which sinks the Oscar to a blatant trailer, or was released in previous years. Then what is it doing here? Then I count how many movies were legitimately in the Oscars, and then I check, did I even hear about this? Now I took out the animated movies in a separate category because, those are the animated movies. Now let's see first the main bunch. I don't really care if it says how many nominations. If you are a foreign made film, not even partially the USA made, you are not eligible for your nomination in my book, even if you won. So, Sentimental Values, made by Norway, nothing to do with the USA, don't get an Oscar. The Secret Agent, made in Brazil, don't get an Oscar. Surat, made by Spain, why it is nominated anywhere outside the foreign movies. Then Kokuho, made by Japan, why is it nominated anywhere else than foreign movie? The Ugly Stepsister, I was surprised. I know about this movie. I know it was made by a Hollywood actress. I don't know if she's Canadian or Australian or whatever. Anyway, I thought it is USA. USA is not on the list. It has like 7 countries listed as origin. USA is not amongst them. It was nominated for something of a makeup, so that was a valid nomination even. Still, why it is nominated, if it is a foreign film, in a not foreign film category. And there was the jackpot, Viva Verdi, made in 2024, released, not made. When I say made, I mean released, wide release. Why? Why in the 2025 bunch? Who knows? And it's even released in the United States in 2024. So how is it here? There are two more stuff that... First, talk about Avatar, Fire and Ash. I was like, why is this nominated as costume design? It has no costumes in it. It is an animated movie. For its fortune, it was nominated, of course, for visual effects or some kind of other bullshit. But it was nominated as costume design. Why? How? Tell me that. And there was also F1. I took the titles straight from the Oscars page. Not IMDb, not some movie page, straight from the Oscar page. One, why anyone does a movie about the Formula One when it's not a thing for like at least 15 years. I last watched it when I was a kid. I know it was still kinda popular for a couple of more years, but at least 15 years, why does it exist? I have no idea. Similar to the Oscars. No one cares. At least I knew it existed. No one liked it. But even as a movie, not just Formula One promotion, but no one liked it as a movie. And here is the funny thing, why I told it. I took the titles from the Oscars page. Because the actual title of the movie is F1, the movie. Look, if the Oscar don't care about this movie enough to tell its actual title, then why even bother? So no, it falls out. This leaves 16 titles in, although 2 are very obviously only released for the Oscar marketing. Marty Supreme and Song Song Blue came out in December 25. That's a big fuck you, very obviously. You don't want to present yourself to the bigger audience. You just want the free advertisements from the Oscars. So in the next year, people will watch it. And what's this title? Song Song Blue. That sounds racist to me. It's not even, an Asian cast movie. But then why does it have the title of Ching Chong Chong? Who thought this is a good idea? Now let's go through the remaining of the bunch. Sinners, heard about it. Probably Oscar nomination worthy, it says the casting for it has some kind of visuals, sure. Then One Battle After Another. Of course it's nominated, they spent a bunch of money on it. Although the right-wing hated it, and the Oscars are very conservative, so what are we doing here? I think they thought it is artsy, and DiCaprio is in it, so let's give it an Oscar. Blue Moon. No idea. Frankenstein. That Guillermo del Toro, he betrayed his audience, flipped the Holocaust card. I don't care anymore about this guy. Let's move on. And by the way, I heard no one liked it anyway, so. Hamnet. I heard it came out. It is some kind of folk horror or something. Good for it. I don't know why it's nominated in the Oscars, but sure, whatever. If I had legs, I would kick you. I heard about this, but I thought it came out very late. Turns out it not. It was in the middle of the stuff. Although I thought it's some very niche art house stuff. No idea what it's all about. Begonia. Why are so many horror movies on this list? This looks like the Suspiria remake, but with lower budget, but with, you know, someone who is liked by Hollywood at the moment. I'm not angry on it. I'm glad it gets some free advertisement. Weapons. I thought this was Spanish made, but okay, it's not. Why is it here though? It's definitely not nomination worthy. I'm sorry, but it's not. Train Dreams. No idea. Never heard about it. Not a single trailer. The Smashing Machine. I just saw it start to get promotions. But IMDb says it was released in October, and it doesn't say it's limited release, so I don't know what is going on here. And I'm not sure a guy is playing The Rock or The Rock is playing a guy. Then Diane Warren Relentless. No idea. The thing said it's some kind of documentary biopic. The title sounds like some Erin Brockovich thing, but that got word of mouth. This is just disappearing into, you know, oblivion. Jurassic World Rebirth. I checked what category it got nominated because it's obviously just trash. Hollywood trash. It got some visual effect nomination. Look, I didn't even see the trailers. I saw it, Scarlett Johansson in it or something. So that's all I know. I don't even know what the visual effect quality is. I literally didn't even see a trailer, even by accident. I just managed to avoid this like plague. The Lost Bus. Look, you are making a movie when you lost a bus. Just wait for the next one or something. Point is, never heard about this at all. What's going on here? And it was just an accident. I guess the nomination was an accident too, because again, not even a trailer. Nobody mentioned this. Sure, I'm mostly into horror nowadays, but I try to, you know, if I see some sci-fi or romantic comedy, I'm clicking on it. Just pure comedy. I'm trying my luck. But where do these titles come from? And it's not like last minute release or something. What is this? Why is like 1/3 of the Oscars is just never heard about it? And I'm subbed to a bunch of channels that's This movie is out. Go and watch it. I won't. That's why I'm watching you. Now let's go to the animated category. Let's get to the bottom. Little Amelie or Character of the Rain. My first thought was, Amelie? Seriously? Anybody even remembers that movie? And why are we making a prequel to it now? Sure, animated, whatever. And as I suspected, this is French made. Why? I just don't know. And because of the title, it's Arco. It looked like Asian stuff, like Korea, but it's not. And it's came out in November, but didn't hear about it. It doesn't look good. Not, and it. The weird thing is, animated movie. Those are not like too many are coming out, so you expect to hear about all of them. Anyway, Zootopia 2. Of course it got nominated. Of course it did not win. Moving on. Elio. I liked it. I made a video about it. But look, is it Oscar worthy? Maybe in a week here. Now what is not Oscar worthy? Look, because so few full feature animated movies come out, and I tried, yes, this was also made by USA, not Netflix stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean it. So if it gets nominated, what can you do? Not enough movies were made in the category, but K-pop DemonHunters. I watched the thing. I did. Because kid in the family. And it's just not Oscar worthy. It's just, look, the animation style is not original. The story is weak as fuck. What exactly are we nominating this for Oscar? It's just, it's a product. It's not a movie. It's just be excited for product and consume next product, or the other way around. It's just some instant consumable. You won't remember this. There is nothing to remember here for. But obviously this was bloody popular at the moment, like the Labubu. Yeah, this is the Labubu of animation films of 2025. You don't give Oscars to Labubu. Or apparently you do. But then, who is voting for this? What are the criteria? We obviously no longer care about artistic merit. It's just some hype train. People from home voting on it because the kid in the family likes it for the moment. X months it will forget about it. But at the moment, gets a vote. Did they even seen this? Did the voters seen all of the nomination in the category they are voting in for? I guess not.